giving more money to the federal Department of Education isn't the answer. It never has been, and it never will be. In fact, it's the federal Department of Education that's largely responsible for the free speech crisis that we're seeing on our campuses, both in grade school, high school, and college. What do I mean by that? The testimony that you've provided today has been very enlightening, very fascinating, very disturbing. And we must identify what the real cancer is here so that we can actually at some point start addressing it. And it is our federal Department of Education. Now, don't get me wrong. I come from a long line of educators. My grandmother, my mother, my sisters, my aunts, great aunts, sister-in-laws. I am a product of public education in the state of Wyoming. But they used to focus on that, education, not indoctrination. And I have watched with absolute horror, especially as a constitutional attorney, over the last 10 years or so, as those on the left being unable to defend their noxious ideas in the free speech marketplace are now working overtime to prevent us from speaking at all. They are the fascists. They are the ones that are preventing our students from engaging in the free marketplace of ideas. So forgive me if I don't necessarily believe you when you talk about wanting to fight for free speech on campus when I watch university after university after university, and people just like you go in and say, yeah, we believe in free speech, but we don't necessarily agree with what these young people have to say. So we don't know that they should be allowed to bring their speakers to campus the way that others should. We've spent an awful lot of time talking about what happened over the last 30 days and what happened on October 7th. And it's definitely at the forefront of our minds. But the very purpose of this hearing was to talk about the importance of free speech on campus and how it has been squelched, how our campuses have been preventing people from engaging in that free marketplace of ideas. Ms. Jordan, I'd like to talk to you for a moment. I very much appreciate your experience and what you've described. You are some very brave young people, very brave young people, much braver than the people who were sitting in the back of the room with their faces covered. You highlight that because of your conservative and Christian values, other students felt you were capable of committing a hate crime or hateful, or that you supported oppression. This seems to be part of a larger trend we are seeing on campuses where opposing views are redefined as violence just to justify attacks on certain viewpoints altogether. Through your experiences at college, do you think your fellow students' actions in condemning your beliefs are part of that broader trend?
Could you please repeat the question?
Sure. Through your experiences in college, do you think your fellow students' actions in condemning your beliefs are part of that larger trend?
The larger trend of...
That we are seeing people attack you simply because of your beliefs. That's the trend that I'm seeing on university campuses. They don't want to engage you about your conservative ideas, your conservative ideals, so they attack you personally and accuse you of things such as that you're being hateful or that you support oppression. Do you see that as part of a larger trend?
Yes, I definitely do.
Okay. And why do you think your fellow students view your belief system in this manner?
I think a majority of the students are afraid of the truth. That's simply put it. They can't agree that there's only men and women. I had a student tell me chromosomes don't matter, which is one of the most preposterous statements I've ever heard. And a lot of students, when they're faced with this truth, they know it's true, but they just want to deny it because they want to continue living in their delusions. And it just causes a lot of chaos, honestly, which is really disappointing because, the constant denial of the truth is why our country is in such a disarray as it is.
Uncertainty. That's exactly right. As a recent graduate yourself, I think your perspective on this growing issue and witnessing it for the entirety of your college experience is incredibly important. In your testimony, you covered the hurdles that you faced as a member of Young Americans for Freedom. I want to make sure that I want to address the classroom situation as well. You have outlined the threats and direct acts of violence that you witnessed due to the speakers your group was bringing in, and clearly your student group's differing viewpoint was not accepted by some on campus. Did this also translate into the experience in the classroom, either by you or other people that you know?
It did, yes.
And then how did that happen?
Yep. Other students in class have been called out for wearing, YAF memorabilia, YAF shirts, a YAF hat in classes related to their major. I'm fortunate that this was not happened to me, but it did happen to others.
So our professors are also engaging in the suppression of freedom of speech?
Unfortunately, yes. Contrary to my preferences, political beliefs of professors are not being left at the door.
Okay. With unanimous consent, I have 2 articles I would like to submit for the record. Your Speech is Violence, the Left's New Mantra to Justify Campus Violence by Jonathan Turley, and The Diversity Problem on Campus by Dorian S. Abbott and Ivan Marinovic.